But Congressman Wamp says he has really, the foundation of his campaign is, number one, education. We have to provide an education. We have to encourage not only our teachers, but we have to encourage the parents of our children to stay in school and get the education. And then after you get into through the 12th grade maybe, and you go to work, then you need to continue that education. And there are programs in place, thanks to our leadership, that allow our young men and women to do that. So the bottom line is, if we have better schools, we have better education, our young men and women have a chance to financially improve their situation. If they improve their situation, they make more money, they spend more money, and in essence, that helps the entire state.
I live in Mount Juliet, Tennessee, and a lot of folks say, Joe, why are you running for governor? Well, first of all, because they lie. They lie! They lie! You lie, Barack Obama! You lie! And I'm not, I may not be Joe Wilson, but I am Joe from Wilson County, and I'm going to set the record straight. You may think that, not proving that you went to college or proving that you were born in the United States of America is a big deal. Well, I was born in the United States of America, and on my website there's a link to the scan of my long-form birth certificate. You know what? I've got 3-year-old triplets, and two of my babysitters are from the state, were born in the state of Hawaii. And I just asked them out of interest, do you have a long-form birth certificate? Well, they're like, yeah, everybody in Hawaii does. Any tea-baggers in the audience? Oh, come on. Come on now.
Tennessee is second in the nation in our violent crime rate. We are number 2. We've had that distinction for 3 years in a row. I find that unacceptable. Now, I think law enforcement here, Shelby County, Bristol, Chattanooga, wherever, is doing a good job with the tools that law enforcement has. But the problem is, law enforcement doesn't have enough tools in the toolbox. It's as though we have a wrench and a screwdriver and not a hammer. As governor, I will give law enforcement the hammer that it needs. Specifically, I will get our sentencing laws changed so that the repeat offenders, the serious offenders, are in prison where they belong. We need to make sure that those violent offenders are taken out of our neighborhoods. That those repeat serial murderers are taken off our streets. That those meth cookers are taken out of our communities. And as governor, I will place priority on them. Now, those are big challenges, but as governor, I'm going to go to work every day determined to take them on.
Right now, when we have administration, as far as I can tell, we don't have anybody that's ever run as much as a lemonade stand. I think we see what happens when people don't put a high value on free enterprise. And the market system, while we might have had our struggles lately, I will still take over any other alternative. Second thing is, I believe in the sanctity of life and marriage. There's no greater gift we can give children than a mother and father who love each other. I believe in our Second Amendment rights. And I believe in the faith and family. It's really the bedrock of our country. And when we lose that, we lose what has made us special. Our next governor has to believe in those things. To be honest with you, because I do think the next governor will be a Republican, I think our next governor will believe in those things. But I think it's also critical at this time to pay special attention to who we elect as governor. I think this, and this is not political overstatement, I think our next governor is going to have the hardest job of any governor in recent memory.
One thing that's really concerning people right now, as we see, is the breakdown of traditional values. That's huge with me. That's huge with me. And I like to think I'm one of those that not only talk the talk, but I walk the walk. I actually co-sponsored the bill in the state of Tennessee that made a constitutional amendment you all in this room got to vote on that defines marriage in the state of Tennessee between one man and one woman. It is now in our Constitution. I'm a huge advocate for Second Amendment rights. Back in 1997, my first year in the state Senate, I was a freshman in the state Senate. I carried the bill that we're under today that gives handgun carry permits to people here in the state of Tennessee. When that bill passed, you would have thought the world was coming to an end. The liberal news media were saying, they kept calling it the Wild West bill. And we're going to see people have shootouts at stop signs. We're going to see people fighting over a loaf of bread in a grocery store and killing each other. We can't trust ordinary citizens with guns. We now have 250,000 law-abiding citizens in the state of Tennessee that have handgun carry permits, including me, and we have had basically zero problems with it.
The reason John Tanner needs to come home is because he has left us a long time ago. He voted for the largest tax increase in U.S. history. He voted for both bailouts. He votes with SEIU, the Service Employees International Union, which is the right arm of Acorn, 84% of the time. He votes with Nancy Pelosi, Barney Frank, 94% of the time. He does not represent the values of this district anymore. In 2007-8, NARAL, National Abortion Rights Action League, gave John Tanner a 100 rating. National Right to Life gave him a 0. He does not represent this district anymore. I'm pro-life. I'm a conservative first, a Republican second. There are things in the Republican Party I don't agree with sometimes. I'm a conservative first. I'm pro-life. I'm pro-gun. I'm anti-tax. I'm for small government. Folks, we've got to get back to common sense and integrity in this country.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we want to keep the republic that was given to us, we cannot reject the values that made America the greatest nation in the history of the world. We cannot adopt socialism, which has failed in every country that has ever tried it. What we can do is send new voices to Congress. New voices that represent our values and those of our founding fathers. New voices that will restore trust in Washington. I will. That is why I am running for Congress. Tonight, I'm interviewing with you for the most important job of my life. The coming election is not about me. It's not about John Tanner. It's not even about Republicans and Democrats. It's about America. Will we keep the republic that was given to us? A republic that previous generations have protected with blood, sweat, and tears.
Now, as your Congressman, I'll make these promises to you. The first is that I won't forget who it is that I work for. I represent your interest, not special interest, but your interests. And second, I won't vote to take away your freedoms. When I was in the Navy, I took an oath to serve and protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America. And that's my job as your Congressman. And then finally, I will not become a career politician. Because the first piece of legislation that I will introduce will be a bill to impose term limits on the United States Congress. So I challenge you to make a choice for yourselves and for future generations, to have true leadership and true representation again.